Good morning all. So today I am working on the turbo van. It's been a while. Jamie's here, grafting away, fixing some typical Nissan Micra for a wiper arm linkage broken. Yeah, so today I'm converting the van to E-throttle. So some of the plus points of E-throttle is you can do closed loop idle control. So for like warming up and stuff like that, it will just ramp the idle up. It's a lot easier to set up than mucking about with like an idle control valve. You can also use the E-throttle as a bypass valve for anti-lag, so that's another thing that I can muck about with as well. Just makes the whole van drive a bit nicer. You know, you get a lot more safety parameters as well. So if something goes wrong and the ECU wants to shut the engine down, you can slam the throttle even if you've got your foot flat. So yeah, right, let's crack on. So I am actually converting my van to E-throttle for a very good reason. I won't disclose why, but in the next video you'll see exactly why and it'll totally make more sense. Also, do not judge the state of this van. This is like the play toy, so everything's rushed on it, everything's terrible, the wiring's terrible. It's all been done in a complete rush, but it works, and it has worked for many years, as you've seen. Right, so first things first, I'm gonna strip off this boost pipe, the throttle body, and take all the gubbins off, just to leave it sort of looking like an open inlet manifold. So yeah, I'm not gonna film that, I'm just gonna strip it down. So yeah, let's crack on. So I've got all the throttle body stripped off, as you can see. Obviously I'm going to be using the standard inlet manifold for the E-throttle body. I got on the phone to Dan ST Engineering and I gave him the dimensions, or actually I just sent him a blacktop throttle body. He got the mill going and he cut this out for me. This is just a flat plate, obviously with 4 holes drilled in it, and then 1 big hole in the middle for the throttle body. I then got on the phone to Zetec at Zoo Speed and he made this. And he welded it like another flange to it. It looks a bit weird and offset, but he's TIG welded it all up and he's port matched it as best as he can. I had to put this little flange on the top to bring the throttle body up, because if I tried bolting the throttle body flat, there wasn't enough clearance. So this worked well. So yeah, I'm going to bolt this, and obviously I had to offset it so I can get all the original holes to line up. So yeah, it doesn't look too pretty, but I'm sure it will do the job just fine. Right, let's get this bolted on there. Made a gasket. Just laid that over there. It's a bit crude, but it'll work fine. Right. Might need a bit of a trim. I'm gonna do that now. So that's that all bolted on. I use like just standard blacktop bolts, but I ground the heads down because they was a bit fat to go into the recesses. So yeah, seems alright. Got the little gasket in there. As you can see, there's a nice cutout, little groove in there for a nice O-ring to seal on the back of the throttle body. And I lost it. So I'm gonna use some sealer. Don't worry, this isn't temporary, trust me. Just wait for the next video, just hang on in there. Honestly, I'm not always this bad. I'm just trying to get something done in the limited free time that I have. Look at that, it's all fitted. Bolt it down tight. Plenty of room for the throttle body to open. Oh, I like that. So if anyone wants one of these, comment below and say, Zach, make me one. And I'm sure when Zach sees all the comments from people who wants them, he'll then make a big batch of them. Wouldn't you, Zach? Right, let's crack on. Completely forgot to mention, this throttle body is off of a Focus ST, I think they're like 60 odd mil, and you can get them for like 30, 40 quid, something like that, and they work quite well. So it is quite a bit bigger than the standard Mark 1 RS throttle body. Obviously this is the Mark 1 Focus RS inlet manifold, if you didn't know. So it's going to be upgrading the size of the butterfly, which is nice. Yeah. Pedal wise, again, off of eBay, just an E-throttle pedal. This is off of I think it's a Volkswagen Polo or an Audi TT or some sort of a VW. There you go, there's the part number if you want to Google it. So yeah, not really sure. So obviously my van is running a Max ECU Mini for anyone that follows it, and the Max ECU Mini doesn't actually have E-throttle control. So I'm going to be using this. It's a bit of a tease really, because unfortunately Max don't make these anymore. This is like an E-throttle module. A Max ECU used to sell them, and then obviously whatever ECU you was running, you could add the module and then you could run E-throttle. But they stopped making them because I think in their eyes, you know, if you want to run E-throttle, then just buy an ECU that's designed to do that. That's why The Mini doesn't have E-throttle control, the Street doesn't have E-throttle control, but then the Sport, the Race and the Pro does. So in their eyes, they're thinking, well, if you want E-throttle, if you're going to do a build with E-throttle, just buy an ECU that has that anyway, rather than having module on module on module. So yeah, that's why they stopped making them. So I actually had to buy this second hand. They rarely come up, annoyingly, but they're still supported. So if you do find them, you know, you can use them. All I've done is just put a VW plug one end, and obviously the plug for the throttle body the other end. So it's all pre-wired. All I've got to do is live and earth, and then can high, can low, activate it within the ECU, and then I can dial it all in, and it'll, you know, in the M-Tune software, E-throttle control will appear. And I can dial it all in and start playing around with it and set it up. So yeah, I haven't got loads of wiring to muck around with, so let's get this plugged on and see how it goes. Yeah. Oh, sorry, let's crack on. And pow, just like that, it's 4 days later. Let me tell you what's been going on. So, the throttle body I had fitted, I had to change. So, cut a long story short, I had a second-hand throttle body off of good old eBay, and it didn't work. It was like, it had like a bit of a tight spot on it. I'm not sure whether it had a tight spot where I bought it, or when I bolted it onto the adapter that I made, I think the edge of it got caught on like a bit of material I needed to grind away. So when I tightened it down, it distorted the throttle body housing a little bit. So at idle, it was really tight and snappy, and the ECU just couldn't control it enough. So luckily, Max ECU's got a load of predefined throttle plates that you can just choose the part number for, you know, select it, and it'll, you know, all the PID settings are correct, and it all works all, you know, straight out the box. So I copied the part number, sent it to my supplier, new Bosch throttle body, like 160 quid, something like that, bolted it on, and it works perfectly. And it's also a lot bigger, it's 68mm. I think these are for like a Focus ST or something like that. But yeah, it works absolutely spot on. So, and the bolt pattern was the same. My mate had to save me with some bolts because I didn't have long enough threads to, like, threaded bolts go all the way through. I've ordered some, but they haven't turned up in time. I've also ordered a 90-degree silicone reducer, 76mm outside diameter, down to 2.5 inch for the boost pipe. So I'm just going to sort of run it down here and hopefully be able to muck something about with the hoses. So that's the plan. Now, at the moment, I am just trying to fit my electronic throttle pedal. So, lost the pedal. I'm sure I had it right. So, this is my pedal. And obviously I need to bolt it up under here. So if you look, if I show you, there's 3 studs on the firewall there, where the old pedal bolted. So I've got a bit of flat plate. Let me show you this. Might as well show you everything. Just skip it if you're bored, isn't it? It's YouTube. Just double tap the right hand side of the screen. Right, here we go. So this is what I've made. I say made. There's a bit of plate and I've drilled 2 holes in it, and it lines up perfectly, but I've got to open them up a little bit because I've only drilled them out to 6mm. So I'm going to open them up to 8mm, and then I should be able to slide that on, and then don't know really, just hold the pedal there and look for some enthusiasm. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. Let's crack on. And this is what I've ended up with. Ta-da! So I just got some flat plate, drilled 3 holes in it, pushed 3 bolts through, spot welded them on the back, and that's it. So what I'm going to do now is sort of offer this pedal up onto the plate under there, sort of mark it in the right place, put a spot of weld on there, and then I can sort of bend it around and get it to sit how I want, and then weld it all up and brace it nicely. So I'm going to do that now. And this is how we're looking so far. Put some little spot welds on the top, so I'm going to bolt this into the footwell now, give it a little tweak about, rest the pedal on, see how it sort of swings, how it feels under my foot, and then weld it up properly. It's not bad. It looks bad, but then it's kind of like, where's my torch? So it's like a lot lower than the other 2 pedals, but obviously I could do with raising it up, but then again, my foot's on it, I get the full range of swing, you know, like 0 to 100%, but it's alright. I just don't know, I might just chop the freaking, lob the bottom of that pedal off. I could do with raising it up a little bit, but I can't be arsed. Yeah, let's weld it there, that'd be alright. And that is what I've ended up with. blobbed it all together. Yeah. I should probably make like a brace off of this. And obviously there's another bolt on the van about here, so I should maybe make a little bracket down there. Realistically, we all know that I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to bolt it in as you see it right here, and I'll probably fix it when it snaps off and I'm like, you know, slamming down on the throttle a bit too hard. So yeah, it's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to paint it. So yeah, this is getting fitted now, and I'm going to bolt the pedal up. The next shot, it should all be done. Like this. It's all done. I know you can't see it that well. It looks a bit bent, but realistically, I think I'll get used to it just fine. It's not too close to the brake pedal. Yeah, seems all right. Right, let's calibrate some more. So, got it pretty dialed in, I'd like to think. Yeah, just been mucking about with like the ramp down times and stuff like that, but yeah, it's pretty good, I think. Ooh, it's gone a bit floaty now. Alright, so it needs some work, but I'm getting close. It's a lot better than it was. I've got it in closed loop idle control as well, so it's targeting 950 RPM. Alright. Really need that boost pipe and it'll be done. Yeah. Right. I'm going home. Bye bye. So, I ordered a 90-degree boost hose and it didn't show up. So I had to make this bodge-tastic thing. This is like a 76mm bend with a 2.5-inch bend pushed inside it with a bit of boost pipe, metal boost pipe in there to clamp it up tight. It's only temporary. You'll see why it's temporary in the next video. Dialed in the throttle body, taking it for a drive. Seems to drive all right. Tidied the van up a little bit, not that you can really see. Yeah. So yeah, that'll do for now. Like, share, subscribe. Cheers, guys. Bye.